Yo, what's up guys, Rock On Gameplay here and welcome back to another video. Today we are back in the game, the Stanley Parable. Yeah. In the last episode, we did the first ending. It looks like we actually beat the game, and then we did another ending where the narrator got confused or something like that. So yeah, we're gonna try to get more endings. But before I get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me in the comments below what you play, especially if you're new to the channel. Tell me in the comments below what you think of this game, because it is amazing. Alright? Like, it's old, but it's still amazing. Like, if you have not played it, you are missing out. Yeah, so let's do this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You've been saying that this entire time, but whatever. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is that we are gonna go downstairs, because we're supposed to go upstairs, but instead we're gonna go downstairs. We're gonna see what happens if we go downstairs. So, looks a little creepy, to be honest. Hello?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
Who's built this?
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
Wait a minute.
Maybe,
We were
he
just
thought
here.
to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh, yeah.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Yeah.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yeah.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Yes, it's a
What a
dream.
relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa, what the frick? What
Then
the
he
frick?
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
Oh,
it
whoa.
was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was
Star
he
Wars.
remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Yeah.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
Okay,
How
this
could
is
it be?
freaking me out.
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
Yeah.
This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he
what the
invited
frick?
himself
What the
to
frick?
wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
I have a wife?
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Hello.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office.
Oh,
I am
gosh.
real. Please, just someone tell me I am
Whoa.
real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What? Okay.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella, get away. This is not the Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a
thing.
day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
So did anyone call the police or anything? Like, what happened? So what the? Wait, what?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Why does it look different? Like, what's going on? Okay, I can't open that. Can't open that.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh, welcome to the whiteboard ending. Console bark. Okay. Okay. Okay, next ending. Okay. So, we went there and got that ending, but now we're gonna go check out this place, and
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Huh. There's a way out right there. Maybe I can just skip work. What's over there?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her? I don't know her.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Who's her?
She's been waiting.
Who? I'm confused. No.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Well, got nothing better to do. Hello? Yes, can I order one Domino's pizza, please? Oh, mine's delivery man. Hello?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
I have a wife.
Right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about
Your damn.
What?
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
It's not like a kill anything. I just hello?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Good morning, employee 427. Press 4 on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Okay, before we push the button, kid, why this apartment sucks? Like, look at it. Okay, let's press R.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Where'd my couch
now
go?
He's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press N to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
Where'd my TV
First,
go?
he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Okay, please press X to spend time with the boys.
So he went further.
Boys!
He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press 8 to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this
the
world,
kitchen!
he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
When is there a game with a baby? What? Who wrote?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Alright, please press P to tell your wife that you love her. Honey?
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Press C to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Press 4 to be at work in the morning. Now, I'm going to see what happens if I don't push it, okay? Look, I'll be nice to you, okay? I'm just going to stare at this clock. Alright guys, it's been a while and nothing's happening, so I'm just going to push the button.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
You can give me a mirror. How about that?
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
And Stanley pushed
What?
a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I
guess it died. Okay, guys, we're back underground at the mind control facility. But instead of going to the mind control facility, we are gonna go down the dark, scary, ominous pathway. Alright, let's go.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh. Okay. Let's find out what will kill me.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Get back out of my head!
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Wait, should I? Okay, let's think about this for a second. 1, I could die. Or 2, I could be being lied to. The choices are all so the choices are all so hard to make. So let's think. Let's go. Okay, that's scary. I can't see anything. Goodbye! Hello? Oh, wow. What? Oh, I can't...
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh boy. No, narrator guy! What?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Hello?
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Ow. Ow. I'm so confused. The Stanley Parable. There it is, everyone.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Yep.
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Wait, I'm dead? What is this? Narrator's paintings. These are actually good paintings. Stanley's computer. Oh, you're back. I saw you back in the office. What is this? What? Oh my gosh. The office layout. The blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first path of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development through the core layout remains almost identical to the first interaction. Okay. Yeah, I can see it. And this is where we have to make the choice to go left or right. Office computers. Okay, one's an email, one's a game, and one's a data pass. Oh, what is this? Button sounds. A section of the sounds used throughout the game when the buttons are pressed. Each sound is mixed of the keyboard strokes and a synchronized tone. Okay, what's this one do? That. Not that one. I like 5. We got doors too. This is a museum. This is all a museum. The office. And the maintenance room. Yeah. Oh, what the heck is this? Wait. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become word and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose of the tone of the game. Plus, some people interrupted it was making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. There's gonna be a war zone? That would be cool. The lounge. Looks boring. The office. Looks boring. The cargo lift. There was gonna be a cargo lift? And more of the cargo lift. And it's a phone. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. What would happen? Huh. No, what if we went back and waited 15 seconds? I wonder what would have happened. 1 option, 2 option, 3 option, 4 option. Wait, that one just says vent. Okay. Meeting room. Looks boring. Zending left. Wait. I can't pull these. Zending. What's a zending? The game is now paused. Escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, a few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. I am so confused on what that means. The monitor room elevator. Oh, I know that thing. Countdown room. There's a countdown room? Countdown desk. One of the desks was from an early version of the countdown ending. What? Oh, that's what it's gonna do. Yeah, not funny. Game design makeup. Looks like a mess. It's Stanley's office! Which one's the real thing? No, wait, that's the real thing. It has the black monitor computer. Or what, the thing. Is that it? Is that all that's in the museum? It's neat. Okay, let's exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Wait, can I turn off the Stanley Parable? But I didn't get to look at all the endings. Oh well. Okay.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Okay.
But
Oh,
listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now. It'll be your only true choice.
Okay.
Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time.
Lady, if I were to do that, then the video wouldn't be that good, and people would hate me. So, yeah. Oh, come on! Alright, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Stanley Parable. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me in the comments below where to play, especially if you're new to the channel. These endings are getting to my head a little bit, guys. If I don't know what else to do, but if you guys know what else I should do, please comment, because I really want to see what else I can that's in this game. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.